Welcome to The Soul Space, the podcast that inspires you to discover your truth, ignite your passion, and align your life with the power of who you really are. I'm Georgia Rose, Psychic Astrologer. I share the cosmic roadmap that guided me through astrology, tarot, and inner knowing into authentic living. I'm here to help you decode your soul's cosmic story, reconnect with your passion, and create the life you are meant to live. It all starts within, and it all starts now in the soul space. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the soul space. It's Monday night at 7 o'clock, and I'm always here live, and it is a pleasure to be with all of you tonight. Tonight, we're going to do tarot card readings, so I know how much you all love that. That's one of the most highly rated and favorite shows for a few fans out there of the Zenkuda Soul Space. And I'm going to talk a little bit of astrology tonight. I've been doing some really deep shows lately. So if you're interested in some of that subject matter, you can find us on YouTube or Spotify or any place that you watch shows. And don't forget, if any of that info really resonates with you and you want to give a little deep dive into it, you can always book a reading at zenkuda.com. So before we jump into the astrology too deeply, we have a Taurus moon coming in on the 4th. Today is the 3rd, so that's tomorrow. And we've got a lot of Taurus energy in the sky. So I have got a cosmic comedy for you just about Taurus. It's time for Cosmic Comedy, where Mercury retrograde is the main character, the lunations are loony, and the stars are a punchline.
I suck.
Yeah, and the message is, don't screw with a Taurus. And we've got a lot of Taurus energy coming in. So for those of you who are a sun, moon, or rising Taurus, don't let the table get flipped on you. It might happen this week, though, because we've got some really Taurian energy coming in. We'll talk about that before we go to our cards. So I hope all you are interested in this astrology, because knowing the weather report astrologically could save your life. Maybe not literally, but figuratively. So today is November 3rd, and I'm looking at my little notes here. So today we're going to begin with the Venus square Jupiter. What does that mean? Basically, you may have felt, especially coming in yesterday, you may have felt a little bit of tension between wanting to indulge and wanting to, maybe be a little bit more peaceful and some restraint. So this is not a time when you want to overspend, overeat, overdo anything. But Taurus energy can sometimes be like that, especially when we've got Jupiter squaring Taurus's ruler. And you may find yourself being stuck between a rock and a hard place. You can't control your indulgences and you really need restraint. So, and that could be even in relationships, with emotional expression, with everything. So the key is moderation. You guys all know I teach mindfulness, and in this energy, really super important to practice mindfulness, because we can get really scattered and off the rails pretty freaking quick. So I know we are live on YouTube. You can always find us on Strong Island Television, and hopefully you're watching or listening tonight, and you can share the show. So November 4th, tomorrow, is really a powerhouse day. Not only do we have a full moon coming in Taurus, which is a super moon and one of the most powerful moons that we have of the year. Strangely enough, and this is kind of a phenomenon that doesn't happen very often, but strangely enough, the last few full moons have been in the last degrees of signs. This one is not. This one is at 13 of Taurus. So it's a little bit more Taurian, because we're right in the middle of the sign. And it's inviting us to have rooted action in intuition. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is our values, but it's also a very intuitive energy. Taurus is sensual. It relies on the senses in order to give us that intuition that we crave and that intuition that we really want to listen to. So when you think about the word sensual or sensuality, I'm not talking sexuality here. I'm talking Taurus is the type of energy that you want to indulge in the hot chocolate. You want to get a massage. You want to eat the whipped cream and strawberries. You want to go and spend $1,000 on new clothes. Taurus is, you're in the shoe store and you love both shoes, so you just buy them. Taurus is very in the material world, and it's very much about things and about creature comforts. Taurus is a sign of the bull, so it can also be very stubborn energy when we have a full moon in Taurus. And also what usually happens in Taurus, especially with Jupiter in the mix, with Jupiter's in this, having a conversation with the full moon at this full moon. What happens is the ideology why can't I say that word? Somebody write in or phone in or whatever you got to do and tell me, because every time I try to say that word, I can't.
Ideology.
If someone says it, I can say it. I think it's some past life mental block, guys. I really do. So anyway, and I even practice it before the show, strangely enough. I am human. For those of you who think that I have wings coming out of my back, I know I kind of do, but I am human. All right. So Jupiter is the planet of our ideals, our belief systems. And Taurus energy is ruled by Venus, our values. So in this energy, it can make people really get stuck in their ideals, really get stuck in their belief systems, to the point of being overzealous and really like rooted in their beliefs. And that can make people really stubborn. So try and stay out of those conversations. It is election day in New York, where I live. And tomorrow in New York City, we have a very volatile election going down with a candidate that is, some people say, socialist, against two other candidates, an independent who at one time was the governor and had to step down because of some controversy. And then the third candidate is someone who's been kind of like a warrior in our local jurisdiction. And so I don't have a political opinion about any of it, but it's really interesting to see that kind of ideology come into play. And people are very fierce about this energy. And it's really interesting to watch, especially when tomorrow is a full moon in Taurus. So something's going to go down. Something's definitely going to go down. Whatever the outcome, people are not going to like it. So that's our election day tomorrow. It's a really tricky day. Because right on the heels of that full moon, when we have Mars trining Neptune, which is also about, inviting things that are rooted in intuition, and yet people are blinded by their ideology. I'm just going to cross that word off the podcast. Ideology. Their ideology. So I do not have Parkinson's. I'm fine. It's just that I can't pronounce a word. So what you want to do is stay out of those conversations that can lead to polarization. Stay out of actions that can lead out into polarization. When Mars trines Neptune, it's going to enter Sagittarius right on the heels of this full moon. What does that mean? Mars is our driver. It's our energy. In Sagittarius, it's also belief systems. It's what is true and what is not true. And so Uranus is also in Gemini, headed back to Taurus. Uranus in Gemini is what is true and what is not true. So these are not times to be discussing politics or religion or taking a stand. You really want to ask yourself, what mountain do I want to die on? Because it may not be worth it. So Tuesday is that major tricky day. It has a potential for sudden shifts because Mars, that's just going to go into Sagittarius, is going to switch signs. It's trining Neptune, which is illusions, not seeing the truth, being kind of murky. It's going to be a day for potential for sudden shifts and impulsive decisions. So stay grounded. Typically something might happen between now and the morning when the polls open in New York City. And I'm just using this as an example. Something will happen that maybe people will go in and vote in a way, and then maybe be like, oh, wait, what did I do? Kind of thing, So that's an example of what could happen. It could be that, like I said in the beginning, with Venus squaring Jupiter and that restraint versus indulgence. It could be you go on a shopping spree and then you realize you can't take everything back. And now you're like, shoot, I have to pay off my credit card the next 3 months. So really be careful because it's very tricky energy. In relationships, it could be because Mercury is involved and that's communication. It could be we say things we can't take back and we're sorry we said them or we're sorry we did them. You want to wait till we're out of this energy to make any really big decisions about relationships. And I would say that would be next week. So the full moon in Taurus is November 4th to 5th because it's really like in the middle of the night kind of thing, late at night. So that is all about embodiment, security, and self-worth in the theme and framework of what we were just talking about, our belief systems, our truth, our self-worth, what is it that makes us feel safe? What is it that makes us feel worthy? How do we run complexes in our life in order to preserve and self-preserve and keep ourselves safe? And what really is your values and what's really important to you? Because this full moon is surrounded by intense transits. And if we don't become grounded in our true faith and our true belief system and what really is our values, what can happen is we can start to go on a path thinking we need to recalibrate or change things, and it could really be the wrong path. So you want to really root yourself in activities that bring you into your groundedness, bring you into that space that's really your soul space. It's kind of a moon when, even though sometimes because of the Mars energy just shifting into Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, and is going to be opposing Uranus, which is sudden, shocking things, awakenings, it's a full moon that will make us want to act and do things and say things and maybe even have a little bit of an argument or a fuss or a fight or be proactive. But I will tell you that this particular full moon is really a time when you want to pause, you want to reflect, you want to ask, what truly sustains me? Do I need to have this conversation or can it wait? Do I need to take my stand and kind of, is this the mountain I want to die on or can I wait? What do I really need to feel safe, to feel nourished, to feel worthy? Is what I am about to do or the action I feel compelled to take, is it truly going to bring me those things? Or is this just something that I'm either, acting out of ego, or I'm having emotions that I really don't want to deal with and looking to throw them onto somebody else? So that's where we're at with the astrology. Really good thing to do in this full moon because it will be a heightened intuitive moon because Venus is ruling it. And even though you may be feel pulled between like stability, Taurus, and disruption, that Uranian energy, which is going back into Taurus, it's retrograde, you're going to feel pulled between that. Should I stay or should I go? Do I feel stable or do I need a disruption here? Do I want to pick a fight to create the end of something? Do I want to, go in and quit the jobs that I'm done with it? Or do I want to stay? Where is really my stability? The reason why those things are coming up into your awareness is not so that we necessarily have to act on them. It is so that we now become aware of the things that we have to release, the things that are not leading us to deeper, authentic place. And so it's almost like, you have a thorn in your palm. It doesn't mean you have to cut off your hand. It just means you have to remove the thorn. And that's really the energy of this moon in a sense of that. It could be something in relationships, especially in relationships, but it could also be finances, your physical environment, your health, depending on where this is in your chart. But it's an invitation to release outdated attachments, but in a peaceful and gentle way, not in the bull in the china shop, Taurus, not in like we just saw in that comic video where the little kid pushes the desk over and annihilates the other person. That's Taurus energy in the shadow. That's Taurus energy in its weakest format. So you really don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to find your peace. Your actions should leave you to expand love in your life, expand peace in your life, and bring you to a place of stability that perhaps you have never really felt or been before. And isn't that really the reason we're all here? So remember that as you recalibrate whatever comes up, whatever these awarenesses are for you, your job, your money, your home, your possessions, your relationships, your spiritual endeavors, whatever it may be that comes up, remember that this is an invitation to go into a mindset and a soul space where you are fully powerful and where you are fully meeting your potential. Journal prompts are great in this energy. This is an energy where you want to kind of do a journal prompt or an affirmation about your worthiness, your self-worth. It's a great time to do breathing, and when you breathe, what a beautiful thing to do is with every breath, say, I honor my worth with every breath. I honor my self-worth with every breath. I'm rooted in radiant and ready to receive the abundance I deserve. I honor my worth with every breath. I am rooted, radiant, and ready to receive the abundance I deserve. Full moon is a powerful time. Use it to reconnect with your values. Release scarcity. If you have any kind of mindsets regarding lack, you want to release them in this Taurus energy, all about abundance. And it's also an invitation to embody the stability that perhaps you've been cultivating in the last few months. You might do an affirmation or a ritual for prosperity or abundance, anchoring into the earth. Taurus is an earth sign. All of those things are really good to do in this full moon. Also, just want to say one more thing because I would be remiss if I did not talk about it. November 8th, Uranus, which is retrograde, is going back into Taurus. Now, we have Neptune back in Pisces right now, where it was for many, many years. Neptune is going into Pisces retrograde. It'll be there for until I think April of next year. Let me just look at my notes. I was, with dates, it's tricky. Yes. So Neptune is going to be in Pisces until January 27th when it moves into Aries for the final time. It won't be retrograde into Pisces again. Now it will be in Aries for good up until 2039. So when Neptune was in Pisces, that was a lot of years for us. It just went back in there to finish up what you've been working on for the last very long time. And then, of course, we have Uranus going back into Taurus on the 8th. Uranus was in Taurus since, I believe, 2017, 18, and then it went into Gemini the beginning of this year. So as it goes now retrograde into Taurus, it will deliver us back to the energy from 2017, 18 until this January. We're going to revisit those things. Same with the Pisces energy going back into Neptune. You're going to revisit the prior years from before this year. And that is an invitation to clear out and finally release with all the knowledge and all the wisdom that you have from those signs traveling through those places all those years, showing you and awakening you and giving you realizations. Now this time period is a time when the planets go back there, but it's not the same energy. It's the same themes, the same things will come up, but you are different because now the planet has already passed all the way through that sign and brought you the wisdom of whatever those challenges were. Now the planet retrogrades to go back to that theme, that situation, that challenge, so that you can now use all the wisdom you've gained to resolve it and reconcile it for the final time. And then, of course, in April next year, when Uranus finally goes back into Gemini, everything turns around then, and Neptune and Saturn will be in Aries in January of 26. So we're in a lot of retrograde energy. It's a revisitation, a lot of regression going on. You're going to see that in the stock market. You're going to see that with money, maybe even your own personal money, because Taurus is all about money. So when you have those money challenges now, you've learned from all those years when you had them. Relationship challenges will come back in the same way, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to go to cards. And bear in mind, this reading is for November, not just the full moon, but the November energy. November is really a time when we got to reset and recalibrate, not to move forward, but to understand the things of the past. We have a lot of retrograde motions. There's a couple of other things. On November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. November 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde. By the end of this month, we're going to have a lot of planets in retrograde. We finish up 2025 really revisiting all the prior years before and taking our stands and reconciling a lot of energy. So make sure that you are making decisions with your soul, not your ego, so that you can move forward into 2026 completely fresh, completely renewed, and really looking for your soul space. So I am going to start our cards tonight with Taurus energy and Earth energy. I'm thinking Taurus is an earth sign. With Earth energy, Taurus, Aquarius, and Virgo. We're going to start with Earth energy, Taurus, Aquarius, and Virgo. Shuffling my cards. Okay, this is going to be down here. You're going to see the cards there. Got to lean in a little bit. So all you earth signs out there, if you want to send me some energy, that would be perfect. Going to link with your energy now, my earth signs, Taurus, Aquarius, and Virgo. Taurus, Aquarius, and Virgo. And you can also play the video back and cross-reference. Watch the video again and again for the partner, for you, whoever, during this time in November. Okay, and this is a supermoon, which means if the weather is clear where you are and you go outside, you are going to see some gorgeous, gorgeous scenery on the moon. Okay, my Taurians, this really fits in with what we were just saying. We have the Four of Swords. I hope you guys can see these on camera. I know the light kind of reflects a little bit. But we've got the Four of Swords. Yeah, I don't know if we can do this a little different maybe. Here we go. Bobby's going to zoom in. Yeah, there we go. So we've got the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of contemplation. It is the person lying. It almost looks like a coffin or a crypt, but basically what it means is it's a card of repose, that you want to be in repose. You want to be, just trying to straighten these out. You want to be in repose and trying to get the gloss off it. Okay. You want to be in repose. You want to take time for contemplation. And that's really what this is about. Bobby's going to come in and fix something. Here he is, my beautiful. Okay. Yeah, that works better, I think. Yeah. Just going to move this back. See? My beautiful producer, Bobby. Love you, Bobby. Everyone thanks you, Bob. Okay. So we've got the earth signs we're doing. This is for Taurus, Aquarius, and Virgo. My first card is the, bear with us, live TV, we're playing. Okay. First card is the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is a card of repose. It means that you need to be in contemplation. You need to be in quiet, be more mindful. Okay. Next card we're going to pick is the King of Pentacles. This is very interesting to me. King of Pentacles is a strong energy. It's a fire sign. We have Mars going into Sagittarius, which really is very contemplative of this card. Pentacles oftentimes are an Aries type of energy. So for my Taurus people, Aquarian people, Virgo people out there, I'm sorry, for my Taurus what is wrong with me tonight? Back it up. Okay. For my Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo people tonight, my earth signs. Go into quiet repose. There's a gentleman in your energy field that you need to really think about. He's a fire sign. Fire signs are Aries. Fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. I'm just looking in the camera. Okay, that's good. Then I'm going to pick a third card. So you need to go into quiet repose. There's someone around you, a fire sign male, that is challenging for you. It could be a romantic relationship, or it could even be someone in your family, you know, a father figure, someone like that. And now we have the Moon card. And this Moon card here is actually the Scorpio card. So this card is really about the Scorpio energy of releasing what no longer serves in order to merge with what does. When you find this beautiful Moon card comes out in a reading, it means that this moon is going to be extremely important for you, earth signs. And of course, it's happening in your sign if you're a Taurus. But for any earth sign, when the moon is full in an earth sign, it truly does mean that it's going to affect you a little bit more than the other signs. So you want to take with you the idea that you need to be in this quiet contemplation to get revelations about this particular card, which really is joining the spiritual and the material, right? You've got the Pentacles here, which is abundance. And then you've got this Moon card, which is showing you, the Scorpio card, that you have to dig deep in order to reveal what needs to come out into the light. And the light doesn't have to be sun. It can be the moon is the biggest illuminator. So in this card, we have the Scorpion coming out of the water, which is very significant. It's a symbolic idea of what's being revealed out from the depths of you and coming into a place where it will be shed into the light and you can actually understand what it's about. And what I'm going to say, my earth signs, is this is definitely about a fire sign male, and you need to go into quiet repose. It's not the time to confront this person or have a conversation. It's time for you to figure out exactly what you want and what you know to be true, and go into the quiet contemplation. He may come to you. He may this month be in your energy field and want to engage and want to speak to you. It's probably a good idea to maybe delay that a little bit. You know, maybe towards the end of the month is a better time to do that. And again, we have a Hermit card. I'm going to put it right on top of these two cards, because the Hermit card is a card that is going to also tell you that in quiet contemplation, in this repose of the Four of Swords, you find the awakening, the revelation. So for my earth signs, this is a month of November where you want to spend some time by yourself. You want to spend some time in quiet contemplation. That Pentacles, fire sign male energy is definitely challenging you. It's an emotional thing. But I'm going to tell you that in the quiet, you really find how it is meant to be affecting you and what the journey to higher potential is really about, whether that is with him or without him. It's a time for you to be in contemplation to find out what you really want. Next up, I'm going to do my air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini air signs. So now Uranus is leaving air, leaving Gemini, and going retrograde back into Taurus on the 8th of this month. That means that you definitely are going to feel a shift in energy. You may feel energy a little bit lacking this month. We also have had Venus in Libra. That's going to switch signs. So you've got a lot of air quality that's maybe going to be a little bit heavier than air normally is for my air signs. But for Aquarius also, which is an air sign, you also have Pluto, which just went into Aquarius this past year. Now Pluto is direct. So whatever you were really contemplating on, my air sign friends, for the first 6 months of this, 7 months of this year, now that becomes a direction. It becomes a map. It becomes where you really want to go. So really think about what's coming into your mind. Like they say, the things that you think about and the things that come into your mind are usually where your soul wants you to go. So in a good way, not when it's torturous. So air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. The first card we have for you is the Chariot. And the Chariot card is a decision card. It means move something forward. So that's exactly what I was just saying, even before I picked the card. So Pluto just went direct in an air sign. So for you, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, this is going to mean that you too want to move forward. And unlike our earth signs, who maybe have a little bit of waiting before they move the Chariot forward, for our air signs, this is a good month for you to start to move. And not in a big grand gesture way, but just little micro movements. For those of you who do yoga, you know that the micro movements sometimes can readjust the whole world, right? A little movement of the wrist or the knee, and the next thing you know, the whole pose is different. So the next card that we got was the Fool card. And that means that whatever you move forward, my beautiful air signs, whatever you're moving forward in your life, you're going on a journey. And the journey is one of trust. The journey is one where, you've got to take that leap of faith and you've got to, come up off the cliff, jump off. And you know what? You're going to be saved. It's going to be fine. You're going to find that you actually can believe in something and believe in the unseen because it's going to save you. Next card I'm going to pick is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords for my air signs is the sign of what we call the sneaky Pete. The Seven of Swords is when you have someone in your life and maybe you've trusted them or maybe you want to trust them, but your intuition is telling you not to. They're the thief in the night. So somebody is someone who is not trustworthy that's around you. And this is for my air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. But chances are these last few months when Pluto was retrograde in your air signs, you probably already kind of got the intuition and the message about, yeah, I don't really trust this person. I don't know why. There's just something's not right. And now it's going to come out. It's going to be revealed to you as you go on the journey. So be careful. That person you're thinking you shouldn't trust, guess what? You shouldn't be trusting them. And then once again, we got the Moon card. Even for my air signs, this full moon that was coming in on the 4th is really a big deal for you. Again, symbolic of something coming in, right? Last time we got the moon sign, now we have the sun sign. So when the moon is full, we have the sun and the moon in opposition, completely illuminating each other. So what you want to do, we have a luminary card like we got the moon last time. What you want to do is know that something that is in your intuition that you think you shouldn't trust is exactly correct. Don't trust it because the sun is coming to illuminate that for you. And the sun is your power. And this person wants to take your power away. As you go on your journey and move things forward, remember there's someone in there. There's someone in your energy field that is not a trustworthy soul. Do not let them have privy to your journey. Don't tell them what your dreams and your hopes are because they will use that against you. Whenever we're trying to manifest something, one of the most important things to do whenever you're trying to manifest or go on a journey of soul or go on a journey of, material things or goals or whatever it is, the most important thing is never to tell anyone what you are doing or what your goal is. And why is that? Because manifestation is a spell. It's a mystical spell. When we go to manifest something, we're actually trying to bring something into reality. So if we tell someone what we're trying to do, oh, we want to buy a new car, or, oh, we're hoping to accomplish this spiritual level or whatever we're trying to do, when we tell someone that, they may wish us the best. They may think that we really, it's great what we're doing, and they may really be in a situation where they wish the best for us. But human nature is sometimes jealousy and sometimes envy. And so, sometimes I do it too. You have a great experience with somebody, they're a really good friend, and they tell you something wonderful that happened to them, and you're truly, truly happy for them. And then you drive away and you think, wow, I wish that happened to me. Or, damn, why can't that happen to me? Or, man, that person's so lucky. And it's not a positive thought. Well, you just put the kibosh on them. It's a world of parallel energy. It's a world of attraction. So don't tell people your goals. Don't tell people your hopes and dreams and wishes. Accomplish your goals while they're sleeping. While everyone else is sleeping, that's when we get to work. That's my motto anyway. Okay, so next up is water. Water signs are Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. What is November's cards say for you? I'm going to shuffle my deck, and we're going to do our water signs. And remember, if you want a private reading, zenkuda.com, and we will dive in specifically for you, both with your astrology and my psychic ability. I actually had a reading recently that was beautiful reading, somebody's astrology chart, and then a couple of their past loved ones had come through just randomly. It was a beautiful day. So I got the King of Wands here. So for my water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. King of Wands is a male energy. Now, when I say male and female energy now, I do want to open up that energy to the fact that it doesn't necessarily have to be a male specifically. It can be a female who has very masculine energy, or someone who identifies as a male, even though maybe they were not born that way. But this is definitely a male energy. The King of Wands is a fire sign. All right. King of Wands is fire sign male. He is going to be someone in your energy field. The King of Wands is like a father figure, an authoritarian. It could be a boss. It could just be someone you look up to. It could also be someone in the military, a firefighter, a policeman. So anyone who is like an authority figure, that is the King of Wands. And for some reason, the King of Wands, like in this photo, has reddish hair, and that's because they're a fire sign. So that King of Wands energy, okay, you're moving away from it. My water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, you're moving away from it. And so this is moving away from an emotional thing. It's taking an emotional journey. You've got your bags packed, you're leaving, and you're not as emotional about it as you thought you would be, because you know that your soul's journey involves leaving that energy. And it's not easy though. There's emotion there, but you are moving away from it. Next card I got was the Hermit card. It's so funny that all of these have a theme with them, every reading that we've done so far. Contemplation, going in the quiet, will illuminate exactly what you want to do. And if you notice the way that I did this spread just intuitively, first card out is the King of Wands. All right. The theme, the challenge, the potential for good. It could be, just the energy. This is the main energy of the November. Then you've got the energy of the action. There's a moving away action. And then you've got the Hermit card, which is actually shining the light on the moving away from the King of Wands. So it's a story. Tarot tells a story. Usually if you do 5 cards, it's the story. 5 cards, the 5th is your confirmation. And the colors also, if you look at this spread, it's all gold and red. It's passion, it's abundance, it's potential. But like I always say, potential means it ain't happened yet. And then we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is a card that is a communication. It's news. It is getting the news that you need, the confirmation that you need, the communication. It could be, Page of Swords is usually something to do, could be employment, could be job, could be communication in the computer field or technology or a text or email, but this is usually something where you get the news and that creates the action. So once you find this illumination is going to get you, this illumination is going to help you move away from the energy of whatever this King of Wands represents, this authoritarian figure, this very kind of powerful, like suppressive kind of an energy. And then this particular communication that you get from the Page of Wands confirms that you did the right thing. Now, this doesn't have to be negative. It could also be in a positive light where the King of Wands comes in, you have to move away from the energy because maybe you get a job relocation or something happens that offers you abundance, because there is a lot of red and yellow in this spread. So that shows me that something is happening that's passionate and abundant. But because of the astrology that we have on tap for November, I think this is going to be moving away from something. The planets, we've got like 5 planets in retrograde by the end of the month, and it's going to want you to move away from energy. It's going to be an energy of a repeat that somehow we need to move away from. Last up is our fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Patiently waiting. Our Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries energies. What is your tarot cards for November? Shuffle it, shuffle in. I didn't even look at the comments. I don't even think we really have too many tonight. So that's okay. Get more on the replay. And if you would share the show, that would be really great. This card flew out of the deck, so I'm going to put that up there. This is a card. This is the, man, we're just like wrecking everything today. This is the Pentacles. This is hard work pays off. You have the cobbler working on the bench, and all the pentacles come. All the pentacles come. And it means hard work pays off. And this is for my fire, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So if you've been working on anything, work hard because it's going to pay off. The more you put into it, the more potential, the more you're going to get from it. Okay. All right. Next card up is that King of Wands came up again. Our King of Wands, I'm going to put him here. Okay. So this could be a boss because this is definitely hard work. Could be spiritual as well. But this is definitely hard work paying off. Maybe you're going to get some recognition from a boss, my fire signs. Next card up, this is the same cards. And you guys saw me shuffle the deck. This is so funny. Next card up is going to be, I'm going to move these over. Next card up is moving away, right? King of Wands, hard work pays off, and we're moving away from the energy. Maybe this is to do with a job promotion or moving out of state, but something's coming up. This King of Wands just feels so authoritarian to me, like really like father-like, authoritarian, bossy. And then, I'm not even going to use, then we have the Hermit card comes up again. This is ridiculous. And we've got the 5 of Swords. So the other 2 cards that came up with a Hermit card, again, in every spread this damn thing came up. And then the Page of Swords came up. So this is how I'm going to tell the story for my fire signs because the energy is just off the hook. Fire signs, you've got a lot of energy this month. Look at this spread. So Page of Swords comes in, energy, communication. All of these cards are showing you something. This is a card of competition here. When you've got the 5 of Swords and the Page of Swords, this is about you get news that makes you compete for something. You're in the running for something. It could be a relationship. It could be a 3-way relationship. It could be a job. It could be something. But something really competitive is happening with the fire signs. That's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. It's almost like, you know, choosing something, making a choice, but you get a communication that makes you very competitive. All right. Then you have to make a move. This could even be a traveling short distance in order to get to this energy where the hard work pays off. And that's what I'm feeling like. So something with the fire signs is a communication, sets up a competition, and you have to actually take a short journey or make a move in order to confront the energy and make it happen. I'm feeling that down to my toes. So my Leo, Sag, Aries, don't be surprised if there was a short trip in your near future in order to rectify a situation that you are in competition with. And that is all of our readings for tonight. Like I said, if you want a private reading, zenkuda.com. I'm just going to go through a couple more of the shifts that we have happening right now because The first week of of November is going to be a lot of tension and expansion because we've got that Venus square Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, but Venus is squaring it. So it could be that, we overindulge and then we want to pull it back. That could also be with our words because Mercury is going to be going retrograde this month. So it's almost like we say something and then we regret it. November 4th, Mars trine Neptune, inspired action. This is really our intuition coming into play, but make sure you're not in illusion. That's our election day here in New York. We've also got Mars moving into Sagittarius that day. For all of you Sagittarians, you're going to feel a little bit more energetic with Mars in your sign. It'll also make you for all of us, want to move more boldly because that's a fire sign. And it will also make us seek freedom. So when you think about that and all these other energies we have going around in relationship, that may or may not be a good thing. Then the second week of November, we've got a lot of emotional depth and awakening happening because that's when we have, the full moons happened. That's going to happen on Wednesday. We've got, when I say the second week of the month, I'm thinking like November 7th. So as we go through that full moon, then we start getting really emotionally deep. It starts to awaken a lot of things in us. Mars is having a conversation with Pluto, which means the transformation starts to come to the surface. Then we have Venus changing from Libra to Scorpio. So it goes from air to water, makes us emotional. For those of you who have a lot of Scorpio in your charts, when Venus crosses over, it can make you very emotional. It can also make you very passionate and romantic. And then on the 8th, Uranus retrogrades into Taurus. And that's when we get a lot of repeat, almost like a washing over us again of the last several years. And that's going to be the final shakeups of those themes. So a lot of endings this month, a lot of reconciliation to get the energy where we need it to be in order to move forward. Doesn't mean reconciliation as far as romance or situations. It can be, but it also means that it's the final countdown. It's the final time in order for us to move forward with power dynamics and be powerful in ourselves. And then as the month progresses, I'll be here to give you your astrological weather. I hope you enjoyed your TAROTSCOPES tonight. You can watch the replays on Zenkuda on YouTube, Strong Island on YouTube, or on any podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, everywhere that you can find a podcast, even Amazon Alexa. Just ask for the most recent Georgia Rose in the Soul Space. You can also find me on Zenkuda Soul Space on Facebook, Zenkuda Official on Instagram, and of course on YouTube. But if you want a reading, get your butts on Zenkuda.com and book, because I'm filling up for the holiday season. Everybody wants to know what's going to happen during the holidays, and I can tell you if you book a reading at Zenkuda.com. See you next Monday, everybody. Bye-bye.